Morning, HMS 7. Happy Monday. It's great to see everybody back in the building, ready to finish start a very strong week today. Again, we'd like to review our 7 habits of highly effective people. The purpose of this Jumpstart message is for us to start thinking about and practicing habits that successful people possess. Again, these are habits. These aren't something that you're born with. They're habits. Habits that you develop over time. So the purpose of Jumpstart is to review and to think deeply through examples, through experiences, through goal sheets about habits that can make you a successful person. The one for the month of September is obviously being proactive, but there are 7 habits, and being proactive starts all 7 habits. All 7 habits stem off the first one, which is being proactive. We're going to talk today, use a little bit story of an individual by the name of Barbara Hillary. She symbolizes and reflects the idea of being proactive. Before I get to that, I would like you to sit quietly and think briefly about what it means to be proactive and why it's important. I'll give you about 10 seconds to think about that quietly. All right, at this time, I'd like you to turn to a shoulder partner and talk to them about what it means to be proactive and why it's important to be proactive. Go. All right, 3 claps on me. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully you again reviewed some good ideas there. We're going to talk about Barbara Hillary here. She was born in Harlem, New York in the 1920s. Her father tragically passed away at the age of 2. She was raised by a single mother. That single mother worked in homes to help keep them clean. Best way of putting it, she was a maid for a lot of people. They lived impoverished. But as Barbara Hillary would tell you, before she passed away in 2019, as she would tell you, they weren't poor in their minds. They may have been poor physically, but not poor in their minds. Mom was an avid reader, used to read to her nightly. Robinson Crusoe was her favorite story growing up, and that's an adventurer. That's a story about someone who likes to go on great adventures. Barbara Hillary liked to go on great adventures. At the age of 20, she completed her nursing degree and would spend the next 5 decades, I want you to think about that, the next 5 decades serving people in a public health format. But that's not the proactive piece we're going to talk about here. Barbara Hillary had breast cancer at the age of 27, nearly died, pushed through that, continued working. But the most significant thing that I can think about here with her is at the age of 70, she was diagnosed with lung cancer, lost 25% of her lung capacity. Instead of sitting at home and not being proactive, Barbara Hillary set a goal to be the first woman to be able to reach the North and South Poles. I want you to think about that. In your 70s, lung cancer, 25% of your lung capacity is gone, and you decide, you know what? I am going to be the first woman to make it to the South Pole and the North Pole. I'll fast forward on that story to say that she did do that. She was able to be the first woman and first African American woman to make it to the North and South Poles with 25% of her lung capacity gone. A great example of being proactive and not sitting back and saying, this is too hard, I can't do this. She took the bull by the horns in her life and went ahead and did that. Please remember stories like this when we talk about being proactive. I think they also minimize some of the challenges that we think we have in school. You can always overcome them by being proactive. Most importantly, though, we have Spirit Week this week. As I announced Friday on the announcements, it's Pajama Day today. On Tuesday, it is Twin Day. Find a good friend and dress as a twin. And on Wednesday, it's Throwback Day. Dress old school. For me, old school is the 90s, so I'll try to remember on Wednesday to throw down in my 90s gear. Thursday's favorite character day, and Friday's our Spirit Day, Blue Gold Day going on. Last thing today, and this is very important in your home rooms today, you have learning assurance forms. These learning assurance forms are in the event that we have to learn from home at some point. That can happen to any of us at any time. If we have to learn from home, we have to fill out these forms. They're basically signed by our parents. And we need you to bring those back to your homeroom teacher on Tuesday. So at this point, if the homeroom teachers will start passing those out, please get those signed and brought back to us on Tuesday. This basically states that if you have to learn from home remotely, you will get your work done. Simply put, it states you're telling us that if for whatever reason you have to learn from home remotely, you will do your work. It's an assurance from your parents. Please get those back to us on Tuesday, and we'll move from there. We love you guys. It's great to see you on a Monday. Work hard. Stay strong.